Good afternoon, freedom fighters. We're going to let everybody pile in here. We're going to let everybody share this. Norma, hello, lovely. I wish everybody would share it, get it out, put it in the groups. It's public, so anybody can see it. And we're going to talk about what this memo means today. We'll get to thoughts. Rachel Bussett-Simco, the ever-present Rachel Bussett-Simco, is here. She's going to give us a legal perspective on the documentation and what they mean in regards to medical marijuana in Oklahoma. We are going to, John Tarkington. We are definitely going to. I think this is going to help us get the names that we don't have. I wasn't the first one to release it to the media, Norma. Somebody sent it and didn't have no weight behind it. I think they sent it to the media and they didn't know what they were looking at. We're going to figure the fuck out right now, though. Promise you that, Miss Ma'am. Dr. Biggles. So, I know how this goes. By all means, everybody, share this video. Get it out. We're going to answer the questions. Share it to all 100 groups. Here we go. And while I've got everybody's attention, you're all here, I would never commit suicide. Okay? So, we're going to go live now. Where is Rachel? They say the line between bravery and stupid is as thin as a hair. Rachel, your invite has been sent. About to go live, Matthew. Her phone keeps blowing up. I bet it does. There is a date on that document, 6/25. Some other people had it. We're sitting on it, I guess, looking for a way to go. No, she's here. She's here. I just got off the phone with her. You're right, Chris Mo. Talking about the thing increased a lot more attention than I'd expect. Not showing up. Here we go. There we go. So we're going to talk about what that means.
There we go.
So I released the memo after talking about it last night. Everybody was blowing me up wanting to talk about it. I talked to the people who gave me the memo. Told them I was going to release it. Will you just hop right into the breadth and width of this as to what this memo means?
Well, it is a memo. I didn't author the memo. Obviously, the memo was forwarded to me, and my understanding from the folks that I talked to about it, I don't have direct knowledge, so I'm just repeating what was shared with me, is that, and what is gleaned from looking at the data in the file that was sent to me, is that The digital author of the memo was OMES, which is the Office of Management and Enterprise Solutions, which is a governmental agency. And the date of the memo is 6/25, so that was the latest draft of the memo. That's also the name of the file. So that is the day before State Question 788 was voted on, and 2 days before the rules were released, 3 days before the rules were released on the 27th or 28th. And it identifies, as you can see from the top of it, potential statute change recommendations as received from agency partners provided by the Oklahoma State Department of Health. So that is the wish list of everybody in the government of, oh shit, if 788 passes, which it did, all of the things that they want to do to change it, lock it down, and keep it from going forward in the method in which it was passed. So that's the way that they intended to subvert the will of the people, as I understand it.
Is there any way that we could find out who this memo went to, which agencies were involved in that?
Yes, that's called an open records request. That's also something that will happen in discovery through the lawsuits.
What's the approximate timeline on us being able to get that information in our hands?
Well, I just got this memo last week while I was on vacation, and then I have been slammed since I got back dealing with, being at the Capitol all day long and all of that stuff. So we're in the process of working with some folks to get some open record requests out, seeing what's happening with the lawsuit. We believe we know what their strategy is going to be based on the little trickery that went on this week. But that's okay, because we got a plan too. Don't ever underestimate me or the brilliant folks who work with me or the other folks behind the scenes. We're very good at what we do. Not to be trifled with, right? No, we're very good at what we do, and we understand it. As those who discouraged us from filing the lawsuit, when we were first talking about filing the lawsuit, have quickly found out we were 100% right as to what the problems were, and AG Hunter responded to that. After seeing what happened, though, in Wednesday's meeting and looking at this memo and watching some of the debate that happened the other night with the AGs, I'm really starting to feel like this is more malicious and intentional than simple ineptitude.
And that's what we've been trying to deduce this whole time. Is it malicious? Is it, active? Or is it just ignorance? And I think a lot of the time the lawmakers fully understand the questions that they're asking, and they're trying to subterfuge the system. There's proof of it. Like, whether we're willfully ignorant, I don't think that's the case. I don't think willfully ignorant's even the case. I think deceitful is the case.
There's clearly some agency intent and deceit going on in what they wanted to do, and whether you call it deceit or whatever, there was a clear intent to undo what the people voted on. And like we've talked about before, we asked a question of legislators at a meeting in May. You knew this was going to pass. If there were all of these problems with 788, why didn't we just write a bill and pass it while the legislature was in session? And we got a lot of punting answers, but the most truthful answer came from the no on 788 guy, who basically said we wanted a low passage rate so we could more easily undo the will of the people. Are you having trouble hearing me?
A little bit. I am. It's not you. It's me. I got a car alarm going off in the distance, and I'm half deaf. So I do the old man, what you talking about, Lassie?
Well, just making sure. Usually, I don't have a problem being too loud.
No, I think they can hear you. They can hear you. It's just probably me at this point.
Okay.
So, that being said, I mean, I think it's right to say that the Department of Health has absolutely no place in the rulemaking anymore. Like, is that an argument that can be made that there is enough, that this needs to be governed by its own standalone independent agency?
Oh, no, we all agree that it needs to be governed by its own standalone independent agency, but that has to be done by the legislator. That's not something that anybody can wave a magic wand and make happen. That takes legislative action. I do feel like after what happened on Wednesday, that at least the committee that we were there, that we saw a lot of progress out of. I'm feeling a lot better about those ladies and gentlemen that were there and asking questions and listening and keeping an open mind. But there's clearly stuff going on about and communication for things with an intent to get around in whatever way they could through 788. They know what the law is on rulemaking. It's set out very clearly. It's not like this is the first time rulemaking has ever been done, or the first time that rulemaking has been done for a state question, and they took it as far as they could go. The knowledge that lawsuits were going to happen. Tom Bates said it in the meeting with Julia Zell when she said, "You can't do that. We don't have the authority to do it. We're going to get sued." And he said, "We're going to get sued anyway." They knew it. They knew they were going to get sued. Their own words show it. That's an admission against interest. And that's a wonderful little evidentiary thing that we like in the law.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's why we bring out the big guns, Rachel Bussett. Rachel Big Guns Bussett. That's her new nickname. The Big Guns. Might get you a jacket that just says that. You're wearing like a leather jacket.
There you go.
Court piece. So I mean, that's it. That's the long and short of it as we see it, right?
Right. And so there's going to be some requests out there for the open records request, whether they're submitted by us or other individuals, to see who was at these meetings, all the various drafts of this, all of the data. There's lots of data that you can get out of documents like this.
Like a request for the minutes of those meetings?
The minutes of the meetings, there's going to be email requests, lots of stuff. So the great thing I know about suing state agencies is that most of them track all the keystrokes, and they keep all the emails in these databases, and things back up to clouds and all kinds of places. So there's going to be lots of information out there that even when people delete them, still exist electronically.
Well, this is even better. OMS, which is the agency that's in charge of the data.
Yeah, and as Lynn, who is sitting over here, said, is yes, it's even better because it's from OMES, which is the agency in charge of data. So if they're messing with the data, we got some real big problems.
Woo! I was just about to say, what is the course of action if we request this data and it is unfindable?
Well, then that's what we get into, what's called spoliation of evidence. And under the law, that creates a presumption in our favor that the evidence that has been destroyed says what we say it says, and helps find in our favor.
Yes, Queen. Yes, Queen. Lynn, you're killing it too off camera.
Thanks, baby.
Yeah, so I mean, that's fucking hook, line, and sinker, in my opinion. This is going to paint a real clear picture in the next coming weeks how this information comes back to us, the picture that it paints. I think Uncle Grumpy's right. People are going to be mad as hell.
Oh, they should be mad as hell. I also think what we've got going on is maybe somebody who did the right thing with the hope of political gain, but maybe then turned around and stabbed him in the back, who's running for office. But that's my speculation.
I think that
Because, I believe there's some elections happening next Tuesday.
it's funny, ain't it?
Mm-hmm.
How many people we've been dealing with lately that are up for re-election?
There's a lot.
There's a lot. Seems like people right now are trying to pull favors and move some weight around.
Right.
Well, fortunately, I know a great lawyer that's looking into it. I know a few great lawyers that are looking into it. And I know...
Nobody's bigger than us, Lynn.
And I know how...
Not even building people who said, no, we shouldn't do it.
And I know 500,000 people that follow and pay attention. They're not happy about this kind of shit either. So...
No, and I think, it goes to what you and I talked about in the beginning of why I was interested in doing this litigation with you and the individuals. I mean, what a lot of people don't know and realize is when you look at the list of plaintiffs in our lawsuit, 2 of them have the same last name as me, Bussett. Those are my family members. There's personal reasons for that. 2 of them are clients in other matters. There are individuals in there that are friends, as well as those who agreed to come on to be part of the lawsuit. This has not been what I would call a money-making endeavor for me. This has, in fact, I've not been paid a dime yet because we've talked about that. I've lost money because I've spent a significant amount of time the last 2 months working on this to the detriment of some other things.
You have sacrificed a lot.
But I'm doing it because it's an important legal issue that I believe in, which is that the government does what it's supposed to do and follow the role that it's given. And the 788 has problems. It's absolutely clear that there are loopholes in 788 that need to be fixed. There are other statutes that are impacted by 788 that have to be addressed, most specifically the criminal statutes for possession and that sort of thing. But at the end of the day, 788 is what people voted in, and that the state agencies are trying to enact rulemaking that subverts that other individuals are trying to do things that subvert that. That frustrates me, and that frustrates me with the problems across Oklahoma and the government, and that's a lot of the work that I already do. And so I didn't join this per se like we talked about it because I was a pot activist, although apparently I've become one. I joined it because I'm a legal activist and I believe in the law.
And we appreciate it, and that's right. And I'm going to throw it out. I have a PayPal system set up to take money to the defense fund. And to be quite honest, I lost the password for like a week, and I've been trying to give Rachel the money in it. But I haven't been sharing that because I didn't want any of this to come off as if we were doing some kind of money raise or money drive. I plan on putting in and putting it on the side of the, essentially my goal was to match what was donated. So if you want to donate, if you want to match me to our goal, please get in there, go donate. I'll post a link.
I'd appreciate it. My kids would appreciate it. So would my employees. They like to get paid.
Right. So if y'all are interested in that, I'll make sure I'll get a post out. And did you get the information I sent you?
I did get the information you
sent. Okay.
I'm keeping that safe so you don't lose it again.
Please. I'm like, that's like, I started feeling bad. It was like, I can't get to nothing. I'm completely digitally lost on this still. It took me a while, but.
All right. It happens. We work it out.
Yeah. I love it. I think we've got a lot of options here. I think we're uncovering a lot. I think a lot of people are going to have opinions on this. I think that you guys have been doing exceptional work from the day you started on the project. And,
well, thank you.
And you're right. This is the type of stuff they write books about. I get that.
It's been a lot of fun. I've practiced law for 15 years, and I've seen a lot of bad and ugly things, and this is bad and ugly in its own way, but for me, it's a lot of fun. And I'm really enjoying all the people that I'm getting to work with and the new friends that I'm making and the organizations that I've been asked to be a part of. But this is kind of a ground floor industry in Oklahoma, and we're getting to help make law and protect people, which is something that I'm passionate about doing. So it's just been a great fit for me.
And you've taken to it like a duck to water.
So, like we said, I know what I know, and I know what I don't know. Weed isn't what I know. I know the law. You're my weed man.
I'm everybody's weed man. Well, dope. I will let you guys get back to work. We'll shut this down, and we'll let everybody share it around and get some opinions. And I hope I don't blow your phone up. Hope I don't have your phone blown up.
It blows up all the time, no matter what, one reason or another.
Right on. I'm going to reach out with this to some of my larger, more national news friends and see what some of their recommendations are.
Great. And I think you and I talked about this. I did do a interview earlier this week, maybe Tuesday, with a online legal magazine about what's going on here. And everything else I've done has been local. There's been a little bit of coverage nationally that I've seen in things. They've talked more about Green the Votes lawsuit, which hasn't been served yet, than they've mentioned our lawsuit, but whatever. But I think there needs to be more word out there, however it happens, about what's going on. What I saw in the New York Times was just about Julie Ezell getting arrested and having charges filed, and that's really all I saw.
Well, let's see what we can do and get some light shined in this corner, beneficial to everybody. Everybody's a winner. And I love it.
Me too.
Let's see what you guys got today on the shares and on the conversation. Get them working. Fucking go to the news, post a comment, share the link. Say what? Say, do you know what you see here? Like, make it clear. You learned the information in this meeting right here that you have. So, bang it out.
So we anticipate that the department's going to be filing a motion to dismiss, because they're going to allege that by fixing or passing the rules that they passed on Wednesday, that our lawsuit is moot. It's not. Whatever.
Yeah, that's easy. We can prove how moot it's not.
Right.
Just gotta let Rachel go up there and talk. Cool. Yeah. If that's your defense, boss. Okay.
So yeah, just like Commissioner Bates said. Oh well, we said, to the extent it doesn't conflict with 788, so that makes it all okay. That's not how you do rulemaking. I've got 2 former assistant attorney generals who work on my team who did rulemaking, and that's not how you do rulemaking, and that's not how you do statutory incorporation. And they've referred to federal law, and it's illegal under federal law, and it isn't even about it conflicting with 788 as much as the statutes that they've incorporated conflict against each other.
And you're the second separate legal analysis that I've had that's dictated that same thing when I discussed this with them. And so, yeah, they said they made those same reference. That being said, a little birdie flew by my ear and whistled that even Tom Bates has corrected himself in saying that wasn't the intent of some of the rules that they put out, demonstrating that they don't really know the intent of the rules that they're putting out.
Well, I've heard that some of what they're doing is just to try to force a special session, which would be indicative of, let's see. Item number 1 on their list: extend implementation times frames currently outlined in State Question 788 to a minimum of 150 to 180 days after passage. A full 112 months after passage would be most ideal. So, yay for y'all voting it in on June 26th. 2018. They don't want you to have anything until June 26, 2019 in their perfect world, so that they can then do all these other things that they've outlined to take away the will of what you voted in.
Sons of bitches. Sons of bitches. And it's, I mean, it's that flagrant too. It's not even arguable.
No.
It's not even arguable that they want to just trash the fuck out of 788.
Right. I mean, it's very clear. I mean, it was clear from the beginning. And one of the things I said before was part of the reason, in my opinion, that they didn't pass legislation to do it the right way to begin with was, one, you still had the right to vote on 788. So even if they passed legislation, that could undo their legislation. But two, the legislature and those in power wanted to say, we didn't vote it in. We didn't write these rules. They wrote the rules. We can't get rid of it because it's here. You know, we have clean hands. We just got to fix it now. And so this is how we fixed it. And so, again,
undermining
instead of listening to what their constituents want. And again, 788 has problems. 788 has loopholes. 788 has things that need to be fixed, which is why we've all been tasked with coming together to fix those loopholes and address things. But the intent of what the people wanted and how quickly they wanted it and the accessibility that they wanted is clear in 788.
Obvious. I mean, I love it. Yeah. They made it easy.
So
we're gonna get them. We're gonna get them.
Won't stop.
Light the fuse, baby. Light the fuse. Everybody get the word out that we know what their fucking goal is. We know how they're doing it. Reference back to this video if you need to retain this information, and call everybody. Call everybody and tell them, you know. We know now. We know. We know what they're doing.
So we'll see what happens.
All right. Well, I'll let you get back to work. Thank you very much for your time. And I look forward to talking to you, I'm sure, in a few hours.
Probably. I'll talk to you later.
All right. Bye, Lynn.
Bye.
Bye.
What do you guys think? Lawrence Pasternak, you want to get in here and talk to me about your opinions on the memo? I'd like that. Lawrence is a smart man. Do I call you Lawrence or do I call you Professor? I don't know what to do. You're so smart. You got to be on your phone to come into this. That's the thing. Like, you'll have to open up from your phone, I think. That's what it was showing us. I'll look for you right here. It's an invite to watch. That's not what I wanted. Just back on right out of that. Call you? I can't do this and call you. I guess maybe if you're on your phone, if you got your phone and you got the Facebook app, I can put you in here and we can talk from everybody. It's my brother on vacation. You're on vacation, man. You don't need to be watching all this shit. You're on a beach. Ron's like, what's going on? You see what had happened was gonna get them. I got you. We'll get on the phone today, Lawrence. It may not be up here, but a lot of stuff is being echoed from our first conversation, and I'm sitting down tonight to read your testing input. All right, Palte, don't you fucking come in here doing your stupid shit. That does not help anybody. Gotcha. And I was reading through some of your messages. I'll catch up after this. All right. Everybody be good. Get the word out. Show them how we're doing it. We're mad. We're not going to take it. We're going to expose them professionally. Calm, cool, and collectively with our fucking ballot slips in our hands. So let them know. Let them know. All right. I'll see you guys soon.